Greetings LEGO and D&D nerds, my name is Ian and welcome to Brick Bestiary, the show where I build D&D creatures out of Lego brick. Today we're going to be building the creature suggested by this comment, the Flail Snail. Now the Flail Snail can be found in Volo's Guide to Monsters, page 144, or also in the new Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse, but I don't have that book. I got Volo's and I got the old Mordenkainen's, so we're going to be looking at this version. The Flail Snail is just a giant snail that has 5 flails on the top of its head that it can whip you with. It's fairly self-explanatory. But it also has some other cool features like an anti-magic shell, which, according to its associated lore, can be used by a skilled armorer to make anti-magic armor. And the snail slime that it leaves behind hardens into a glassy substance. So maybe your party gets tasked to go find one and hunt it down for one of these 2 magical items, in which case you'll need a Lego mini. Let's start off building the shell. Now, the color scheme that I'm going for this Flail Snail is going to be using this very light bluish green color and red. And the main reason I wanted to go with this bluish color for the shell is because I have these cool kind of pointed pieces that I think will help capture the shell shape very nicely. Now, unfortunately, because I wanted to lock myself into such a specific color, I didn't have a lot to work with. I have 3 of these pointy pieces. Luckily, I also had 2 of these domed circular pieces. And the rest that you see here is pretty much all I have in this color. There's some plates, there's some of these half arches, and a few of these triangles. That's about it. But I was able to make it work, and I was able to make a snail shell. So let's go ahead and put that together. We're going to start with a white plate, which we will stack a 2x2 white plate on top of. Next, I'm going to need these snot bricks. These ones have 2 side jumpers that are next to each other, and then these 2 sides don't have any. So we'll put 4 of them on like this, so that we have studs coming out both of these sides and here, but they are still able to sit next to each other. Next, we're going to stack up 2 blue bricks right there to fill in some of the space in the middle. On top of each of these sets of snot studs, we're going to stack 2 1x2 plates in the light blue, and then we'll put these arch pieces on top like this. I'll grab 2 more plates to fill in that gap, and then 2 of these half pyramid pieces will form the top of our shell. Now I'm going to take 2 2x2 plates. The color doesn't really matter for these because they're going to be inside the shell. I'm going to stack them up, and I'm going to attach 2 of the light blue arches to one side like that, and then I'll attach 1 of the triangular pieces onto the top of the arch like that. I'm also going to add 1 of the half pyramids like that to kind of get some spiky details going on in the shell. I'm going to stack 2 of the 1x2 plates in the light blue here and here. Then I'm going to take another triangle and attach it like that and lock it in place with a 2x2 plate. This is then going to clip onto the side. I'm going to attach these 2 studs to these 2 studs. I'm going to take these 2 remaining arch pieces and I'm going to put 1 on each side of the bottom of these arches like this, and I'll lock that in place with the last 1x2. Now for the other side, I'm going to take a 3x2 plate and a 2x2 plate and stack them. And then I'm going to attach that to the last triangle and attach it to this side of the shell. Then I'm going to take this 1x4 and put a 1x1 plate on the bottom on each end, and that will attach right here. I'll lock those together with 1 of these round tiles. And just to add a little detail, I'm going to take 2 of these quarter round pieces and put them like that, kind of at an angle to round things out a bit. Before we put the 2 domes on the sides, I want to take 1 of these hinge pieces and I'm going to attach it to the plate right here and hinge it this direction. The shell will go on like this, so this will be our mounting point. Now I'm going to take these flattened dome pieces and put 1 on each side like that. Then I'm going to put a half pyramid and 2 quarter round tiles like that and like that, and that will sort of complete the ridge that I have going around this bottom level of the shell. And that is our snail shell. So we just need a snail to put it on. We're going to start off with these two larger red arch pieces. We're going to place a 1x2 on the bottom of the studs to connect them. And then we're going to fill in the space with two of the smaller arch pieces. And then another plate to fill in that gap, and that's going to be 2. These don't have to be 1x1s here, I just couldn't find another 1x2. We'll fill in that space like that, and then we're going to take a 2x2 plate and put it on the bottom like that. These two underside slope pieces are then going to connect here and here, and one of these snot studs that has a 2x2 brick space on the side is going to connect right here and be locked in place with one of these 2x2 jumper tiles. Now moving backwards along the snail's body, we're going to take a red brick, it doesn't have to be a Technic brick, and attach it there. Then we need a snot stud, again with the 2x2 front face, but also 2x1s on each side, and that's going to go here. Then another without the studs on the side goes here. And then I'm going to take this sort of modified jumper plate and attach it here with a 2x2 slope on the back. I'm going to place a 2x1 cheese slope right here, and then I'm going to take one of these round 4x4s and place it in between these two on the back. I'll take a 2x4 and place it on top of that, and one of these backrest pieces is going to go on the front studs there. The shell will rest against this when it mounts. To fill in the gaps in the sides here, we're going to take these two slope pieces and one of these L bracket plates, and we're going to connect them like this, and then put one of these small slopes that comes to a point on the top of the angle like that. This will then connect right here on the side and fill in that space. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, but mirrored, of course. And there we go. This 1x3 is going to connect to the back two studs on the top here. We're going to center it so that the little in-between stud pegs go into these hollowed out studs. And then we're going to need 4 of these little red stud flowers. We're going to put one here, and 2 in the front. In the space at the middle on the back, we're going to take 2 of these cones and stack them up like that, or you could do 1 cylinder and 1 cone, either will work. And then on the front, we're going to place one of these 1x2s that has the punch through for the studs, and 2 of these red claw horn pieces to be the little snail feelers. Now let's go ahead and connect our shell. We want this hinge bracket's 2 studs to connect to these 2 behind the rest. There we go. And now our snail is just missing its flail. I'm going to take one of these snot studs that has studs on all the sides. I'm going to put one of these pyramid cheese wedges on the top, and then I'm going to take regular cheese wedges and place them all around the sides at an angle like this. Once they're placed, I'm then going to angle them all slightly. Just going to slowly go around twisting them until they're at not quite a 45-degree angle. Then I'm just going to take one of these end of tail or tentacle pieces in red, and I'm going to insert it into the bottom of the stud until the tip catches on the top. And this is going to be one of my flails. I will attach it to the top center, and I need 2 more just like it that will go on either side. I'm going to kind of spread them out like that. And that's 3. For the smaller 2, I'm going to do the same thing, except I put a regular cheese slope on top instead of a pyramid, just because I only had 3 of the red pyramids. You can do all cheese slopes on all of them, or if you have more pyramids, that would look even better. But this is what we're doing here. I'm going to take a red minifig hand, and I'm going to insert it into the bottom of the stud like this. Then I'm going to take one of these hot dog pieces, and I'm going to clip it into the hand, and that will form our stalk, just like that. I'll need 2 of these, and these will attach to these bottom 2 flower studs right here. This will actually be a little easier if I take these off and do it in my hand. I have to push this in so that the little knob on the end of the hot dog seats into the little inner knob in the flower. And once it's pushed all the way in, it's a pretty secure connection. I'll go ahead and attach these on the front. And that is a flail snail. So that's my take on a Lego Flail Snail. I hope you liked the build, and I want to thank commenter Draco Says Nuth, maybe? I'm sorry if I messed that up. I'd really like to thank you for the suggestion because it was a lot of fun to build. Please be sure to comment down below what creature you think I should build next. If you've commented one before, thank you so much. I have a list and I am planning to get to all of them eventually, just not in any particular order, but I'm always happy to hear new suggestions. If you liked the build, be sure to drop a like, and if you want to see more episodes of Brick Bestiary, hit that subscribe button as well.